I'm so glad you are with me today because I wasn't having the greatest day in the world. But now I'm with you. I brought 2 great books, and I think my day's getting better. I hope your day is too. I got one book. It's got a funny title. There's a Wocket in my pocket. And it's by Dr. Seuss. Now, I know you know about Dr. Seuss. He wrote The Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham. Yeah, you know those books. Well, this is another funny one, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And then I'm going to read Milo's Hat Trick. This is a great book. I really enjoyed it. Now, you know, when we read books here on The Book Lady, by the way, I'm the book lady. I read them to you, and we have fun, and we look at the pictures, the illustrations, and then we talk about them a little bit. This one, I'm not sure how we're going to talk about it, but it's crazy. All right. How many of you know what the word rhyme means? Rhyme. Let me give you an example. I'm the book lady, and I read books. What rhymes with book? Oh, look, hook. How about cook? There are lots of words that rhyme with book. Well, Dr. Seuss has decided to just make up words. And I think you're going to get a kick out of this. There's a Wocket in my pocket by Dr. Seuss. Did you ever have the feeling there's a wasket in your basket? Or a neuro in your bureau? Or a wasset in your closet? Sometimes I feel quite certain there's a Jertain in the curtain. And I love this picture, those little skinny legs coming out of the curtains. And he says it's a Jertain. Sometimes I have the feeling there's a Zlock behind the clock. Oh, and I love the pictures. Look at that funny Zlock. And that Zelf up on the shelf. Oh, so cute. I have talked to him myself. That's the kind of house I live in. There's a Nink in the sink and a Zamp in the lamp. That Zamp is so cute. And they're rather nice, I think. Some of them are very friendly, like the yacht in the pot. But that yottle in the bottle, ooh, some are friendly and some are not. Look what that yottle is doing, blowing water all over his face. I like the Zabel on the table and the Gare under the chair. But the Bofa on the sofa, well, I wish he wasn't there, 'cause he's pretty big and he's eating all the candy. All those nutboards in the cupboards, and they're so cute. They're good fun to have about. But that Noothgrush on my toothbrush, him I could do without. The only one I'm really scared of is that Vug under the rug. We don't see the Zug, but we see a big lump in the rug. And that Quimney up the chimney. We don't see the chimney either because it has already gone up the chimney. I don't like him, not at all. And it makes me sort of nervous when the Zal scoots down the hall. Whoa! But the yeps on the steps, oh, they're great fun to have around. And so are many, many other friends that I have found. Like the teller and the neller and the geller and the deller and the beller and the weller and the zeller in the cellar. Wow, there are a lot of people down there in the cellar. The cellar is another word for the basement. And the Geeling on the ceiling. And the zower in my shower. Yeah, that would bother me. And the Zillow on my pillow. I don't care if you believe it. That's the kind of house I live in, and I hope we never leave it. Isn't that a fun book? Dr. Seuss found so many terrific words that really don't mean anything. And he put them in the book, and he drew a picture. Can you imagine he's sitting down saying, I wonder what a zeller looks like. And he just decided. Or, what's a yacht? Rhymes with pot. What in the world would a yacht look like? Well, he made the yacht. See it coming out of the pot? You know, Dr. Seuss really knew how to have fun. So if you're at the library, try and see if they have this book. I think you'd like it. There's a Wocket in my pocket by Dr. Seuss. All right, I have another book, and it's Milo's Hat Trick. See, Milo's a magician, but I like that it opens up with just the forest. See all those trees? That's all there is. There are no words, just trees. I wonder why. He was called Milo the Magnificent, but Milo wasn't magnificent at all. Oh, he botched his card trick, he tangled his rope trick, and his hat trick, was just pathetic. He wasn't very good at the magic. Mr. Popovich, the theater manager, was furious. Milo, I'll give you one more chance. Tomorrow night, you better pull a rabbit out of your hat or else. So, the next morning, Milo went out to catch a rabbit. But instead, he caught a bear. What are you doing out here? Said the bear. Oh, I'm looking for a rabbit for my hat trick. Hat trick? Maybe I can help. You? Watch this. And he jumped into Milo's hat. Wow! How did you do that? Oh, easy, said the bear. You just pretend your bones are made of rubber. It's a secret I learned from a rabbit. Oh, you can definitely help me out. But you'll have to hide in my hat until we're on stage. Oh, no problem. Just whistle and I'll pop out. Well, on the train back to the city, Milo was in a daze. It's true, he thought. I really do have a bear in my hat. But when he got to his dressing room, his hat was empty. Worse yet, it wasn't even his hat. Uh-oh. Milo raced back to the train station. There were lots of people with hats, but none of the hats was his. Meanwhile, in a restaurant across town, someone whistled for the waiter. Ta-da! Right on cue, the bear popped out of the hat. But there was no applause. There was no Milo. Uh-oh, said the bear. He grabbed Milo's hat and ran. Help! A wild bear is on the loose, said a cab driver. A bear? Where? Said a policeman. Well, he was standing right by the mailbox, and poof, he disappeared. Oh gosh, how in the world will I ever find that magician? Just then, a school teacher was passing the mailbox. And see, the bear's in the mailbox, hiding. Hurry up, children, the teacher said, or we'll be late for the magic show. Magic show, thought the bear. He slipped out of the mail slot and quickly joined the line. Minutes before the matinee, that's the show that's in the afternoon, Milo slouched into the theater. It's no use, Mr. Popovich. I didn't find a rabbit. Rabbit or no rabbit, you've got to go on. Just look, the house is packed. That means lots of people are there. Milo looked. A very familiar hat was sitting in the front row. My hat! Oh, would you please hand me that hat? Oh, this is so exciting. Milo whistled, and out popped the bear. Boy, am I glad to see you. For the rest of the afternoon, the bear jumped in and out of hats of all shapes and sizes. Oh, Milo's new act was a smash. Mr. Popovich was ecstatic. That means really, really happy. For 3 solid weeks, Milo and the bear were the hottest ticket in town. But one day, during intermission, the bear yawned, an enormous yawn, after popping in and out of 762 hats. He was pooped. So, Milo took the bear home. Back in his cave, the bear settled down for a long nap. Gee, what am I going to do without you? Said Milo. Well, like I said before, you just... And he fell asleep. These days, Milo closes his show with a hat trick. And this one is very special. What in the world? It's a secret he learned from a bear. Look, he's going to dive into his own hat. And what was the secret? Remember? The bear learned the secret from the rabbit. Just imagine your bones are made of rubber. That means they bend and they can squeeze. Yeah. And then the last page, what do we see? More woods. And I think they put the woods here because that's where the bear lived. Yeah. Isn't that a great book? Milo's Hat Trick by Jon Agee. It's a fun book. And I think if you go to the library, try and see if they have that for you. Because this is the kind of book you're going to want to read more than once. In fact, we've talked about this before. Books are kind of your friends. They can get you excited. Sometimes they can make you kind of sad. They can make you very happy. And they can make you surprised. Like I was surprised when I saw how this ended. Milo diving into the hat. Boy, can you imagine going to that magic show and watching Milo dive into the hat and then jump out? Books are great friends, and you can share them. If you go to school, maybe you want to take one of your books to school and share it. If you don't go to school, a book is a great friend to keep you from getting lonely. Yeah. And if you don't read yet, that's okay, because all these books have wonderful illustrations. That is the grown-up word for pictures. Lots of great pictures. Even the cover of this with Milo pulling a carrot. You know why he has that carrot over his hat? He's hoping a rabbit will come out and grab the carrot. But that didn't happen, did it? No. And in this book, you almost could write a book just like this. You just have to think of funny words that rhyme with things you want to talk about. Oh, let's see. Maybe we're going to talk about this table. What will we call it? A Babel. The Babel, sitting on the table. And then you get to make up in your mind what you think a Babel looks like. How fun is that? You can use your crayons and color it any way you want. Maybe a Babel wears a hat. Maybe a Babel's really tall. Maybe a Babel's really, really short. We don't know. You get to decide that. And in this book, Dr. Seuss got to decide that. Let's see some of the other funny words he came up with. Oh, yeah, the yodel. But it rhymes with bottle, so look what he put in the bottle. Just a little creature who's spitting the water out of the bottle into his face, but that, Dr. Seuss said, I'm going to call that a yodel. How fun is that? This is a very fun book. I almost brought another book that's a Dr. Seuss book. But it's a book that you have to find the things that are wrong in all the pictures. Like one of the pictures had a tree, and then another tree, and then a third tree, but the third tree had a shoe coming out of the top. That's wrong. And it was called Wacky Wednesday. And I just thought that would be more fun to do in person so that we could open the book and point to all the different things that are wacky. How about that? Oh, I'm so glad you came and joined me today and got to read my crazy books. You know, there's a Wocket in my pocket. And that's your chance to just find anything that rhymes with something. Let's see. I'm talking into a camera. What's a word that we could make up? How about a Pamera? What's a Pamera? We don't know what a Pamera is, but we can draw a picture of what we think it is. I think a Pamera would have big eyes and a big smile. See how fun it is? It's because it's reading. I'm going to ask you if you will go to your library, ask a grown-up to take you to the library and see if you can get a library card. Now, I think to get a library card, you have to write your name. So you better know how to write your name. But if you don't, ask your mom, your dad, your grandmother, your aunt. Ask them to check you the books you want to, read. And you get to keep those books for a couple of weeks. For real. And it is fun to read those books over and over again. So you promise me that you will go visit the library. You know, my granddaughter had not been to the library yet. So I took her. I couldn't get her out of the library. She loved the library. Oh, I want to get this book. I want to get this book. We had a pile of books. And she took them home and had so much fun with those books. And then you bring them back so other children can borrow them. A library is where you borrow. And you take care of the books. You don't color in the books. You don't damage the books. You keep them nice. And in fact, at my library, when I want to return the books, I pull and then I have to drop the book in. But it tells me the spine of the book. See? That's the spine. See it? That has to go in first. They don't want it to go in this way because it might open and then the pages will get crunched up. You have to learn how to do it the right way. Anyway, I'm glad you joined us today here on The Book Lady. And remember, you can find The Book Lady on YouTube. Just type in The Book Lady. And there are all kinds of books for you to hear me read, and you will enjoy them. And I'm glad you came by today. Bye-bye.